What's up everyone, Rez here, and welcome to the Rez TKF podcast. On today's episode, I have a very special guest, Vance Latta. Alright, interview with Vance. Here we go. Well, shit, man. It's good to talk to you again, man.
Absolutely, yeah.
How was it, before we get into it, man, how was the gig last night?
It was pretty good. We hadn't played a show since November, so it was kind of, it was a very last minute as well, but we just wanted to get on stage again and just kind of get it over with, get the jitters out, I guess, but it went well. Not a huge crowd, but we didn't expect much because we didn't have time to promote or anything.
Okay, just spur of the moment, like just kind of...
somebody messaged me on Facebook, I think. I'm in like a Facebook group where, like a local music Facebook group, and somebody messaged me on there and said, you know, we need a kind of last minute addition to this lineup. Can you do it? And we were like, yeah, okay, might as well. We gotta get it started again.
Yeah. How'd it feel? How'd it feel to be back up there?
Great.
Okay.
So we were, I thought we'd be rusty, but I mean, we're, it's just me and my brother up there. He plays drums. We got backing tracks when I sing. But like, we're pretty locked in. We didn't really even rehearse. We were just kind of like, let's just go up there and do it.
Yeah, let's just do the damn thing. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm glad the show went good, man. As you see, I was just enjoying some nice zips. I do appreciate it. I appreciate all the zip that you sent me. You sent me so much. My wife got pretty mad at me about how much you did send. You don't have to keep sending me zip though, Vance. I do appreciate it, but like, bro, like, you don't have to keep sending. I do appreciate it.
To be a little much at this point.
Yeah, a little bit, man. Just,
I can tone back the supply we're sending, I guess.
Things are a little rusty at home because of this, you know. But I thank you. But
thank you, but no thank you, kind of.
You went from fan to fish to a member of MDE now. Like, it's official, you know, like you're on the team, man. A whole 42 days, you did your time. Why do you think they picked you rather than the others?
I don't know. I mean, I think on season 1, I kind of got along with the crew pretty well. I think, I don't know. I mean, I like to think I'm a hard worker and I, you know, just kind of keep my head down and do what has to be done. And I think maybe they saw that. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I couldn't really tell you why. I guess I never really asked them. Well, I never really ask like why me. I was like, awesome, let's do this.
How did that go about? Did that happen right after season 2? How did they contact you and let you in on that? Like, hey, we want you to really be a part of the team.
I think, well, they've mentioned that they knew before I was even eliminated that they would want me to work on the show. And then they contacted me, I want to say sometime in the summer, I believe, and just kind of gauged my interest on it. And I said, yeah, absolutely. I would love to do that. And yeah, that's kind of how it went. And then as the months went on, started filling me in a little more on like the theme, you know, what I need to do to prepare, stuff like that. And then, yeah, showed up about a week before launch, learned the cameras, learned the website, and then we were good to go.
Damn, so you only had 7 days to physically prep.
Yeah. I think, honestly, Alex Luke kind of gave me the rundown on the cameras, and they're so, the cameras, the FX3 is what they use. These cameras are so nice and so simple that I only needed like 20 or 30 minutes to get the whole idea of how to use them. And I went to film school. I'm familiar with cameras. I knew, you know, all the basic film rules and kind of stuff like that already, but yeah, I was shocked at how simple streamlined these cameras were.
You know, I was like, dude, I feel like you're gonna really go far. I feel like you're gonna do a lot of things, you know, and this is only the start. And then lo and behold, you know, you're on production.
Yeah.
You did it, man.
Yeah, I do remember you saying that. I did try to be up there filming as often as possible. I thought anytime, even like slight things were happening, I thought like it's important to get as much footage as possible. So yeah. Appreciate that, man.
Oh yeah, and you kept a level head with everything, man, for sure. Like, you did an awesome job. How did they initiate you into MDE? How did they induct you into the crew? And what did they say their expectations of you were? And what was your daily routine like as now a member of the crew? Like, from the point that they told you to the point that you had your 7 days on there getting ready and prepping.
It felt like I was just kind of fully welcomed already, and kind of they expected me to fit right in, and I feel like I kind of did. They kind of warned me, you know, this is a stressful job and everything, and I was, you know, thought I could handle it. I thought it's hard. Like, I kind of knew what to expect because I was on season 1, but at the same time, you can't really prepare until it's like, you can prepare, you can think you can prepare all you want, but once it's live, and a lot of stuff has to be thrown out the window, you know? Yeah, I mean, it felt like basically from the minute I got into the house and they were giving me the rundown, it felt like, I don't know, felt like I was home, you know? Like they welcomed me very well.
When we talked last time, on our last interview for your season 1, you actually brought out, during our interview, you brought out a whole book, a whole notebook full of ideas that you jotted down. You went in there with a plan. You know, whether you had a notebook full of ideas or not, were there any ideas that you were allowed to implement into season 2 that, like, what ideas were yours that you were able to throw in? What did you, were you allowed to throw anything into the mix, or was everything pretty much already blueprinted?
No, absolutely. Everybody on the crew contributes to, you know, throwing in bid ideas and stuff like that. In terms of specific ones I did, the soy tax, the Taily soy tax, I believe was me.
W.
For challenges, the eating the gross shit challenge during the Swamp Olympics, that was my idea.
Where's your Rainier, man? Are they pissed at you? You dropped Rainier like a bad habit.
They dropped me.
They dropped you?
They dropped me. I breached the contract one too many times, and now I'm just drinking generic Kirkland signature hard seltzer.
Were they beefing with ZIPP?
They may have, yeah, you know, it may have been a ZIPP thing. I think they were threatened by another drink company, you know, seeing me on camera drinking ZIPP is not a good look in their eyes.
I don't think that they were necessarily threatened. I think that they just felt threatened, like, you know, like a little pussy would, you know?
Right.
Because I think that ZIPP, you know, I mean, it's got nootropics, 35 milligrams, and head change. So, I mean, that's their problem.
Maybe they thought my head, you know, they thought I was getting too much head change. And they're like, look, are you still even interested in us? How much has your head changed?
What do they know?
Yeah.
Maybe their head changed because they're too hopped up on those hops. They need to chill out. They need to chill. You're the motivational lizard, man. Jeez. You have a streak of fucking luck, Vance. Your luck is like maxed out. And not saying you don't put in hard work. You do. You put yourself out there and you put in the work, and you auditioned and everything. So not saying it's all on luck. You have a great streak going. You know, you're on production, man. How did that feel when you found out in the moment?
It was crazy. It was a good feeling. Yeah, it was kind of, it's honestly a dream come true. Like, I grew up, you know, idolizing Sam and Nick and, you know, the whole MDE crew. And just to be able to work with them now, like 10 years ago, I would have never thought that I would be working with them. But no, it's a great feeling. It's awesome. And yeah, when you say like I got a streak of luck, I think I talked about this last time, but I always remain positive no matter what. Like I try to always be an optimist and you know, see all the silver linings, whatever you want to say. But I think that greatly contributes to me, you know, becoming as successful as I have, like in keeping up this streak of good luck, you know?
So you're a firm believer in like a good attitude will bring a good life, you know, good actions. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You really embody the fucking, you are the motivational lizard, bro. Like, watch out, Lyle.
Right.
God damn, like, god damn, man.
Yeah.
Like, what was it like being on the other side of the playing field, though? Like, you got to turn the tables and you got to fuck with the minds of the fish. How did that feel?
It was cool. It was interesting. I tried to, you know, do my own kind of gaslighting or whatever on season 1. But the difficult thing about that is that, you know, after a while, I started to just like the contestants too much, and I started becoming friends with them, so it was harder to mess with them. This time, I tried to be as detached as possible, so that I could be able to do that still. Yeah, it was interesting because, I mean, obviously I was on season 1, and I didn't see the website until I was eliminated. I never watched never watched the show while it was live or anything like that. So I could see why people got addicted to it if I didn't quite understand for season 1. It's definitely it was a different dynamic, and it felt, yeah, you do kind of feel powerful. It's like, especially when you go up there and you have to like kind of lay down the law. It's fun. Like it's just very funny. Like, and probably the most fun part of being on the production role is just devising the plans in general, like just spitballing, riffing possible ideas as we're watching everything unfold. Like, that's probably the most fun part. You know, a lot of the stuff that is said definitely cannot be pulled off, but that, you know, but the more ridiculous the ideas get, the funnier it is.
Yeah, yeah, it motivates the insanity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I felt like this time, for me, it felt like it was probably, I mean, I wasn't on crew for season 1, but I feel like it was probably harder to mess with the fish this time because they watched all of season 1. They kind of knew what to expect. Even if we were MDE fans on season 1, we still had never seen Fish Tank. We didn't exactly know what we were getting into. But these people all did, so some of the you know, messing with them was a little more difficult, and I think that's kind of the reason we didn't see the sharks come out as much, because it felt like whenever we brought the sharks up, they liked it a little too much. You know, they kind of fanboyed out a little bit.
Yeah. Because so you guys knowingly picked people who were fans, and you also got to pick the contestants as well, correct?
No, I didn't have anything to do with casting.
Oh, gotcha.
But I watched all the interviews, and you know, just to kind of get a rundown on the cast and kind of
see what you're dealing with.
Yeah, exactly.
From the information that I've gathered from what they've let public has been pretty much like, you know, their whole Craigslist thing, like them just going out and knowingly picking fans and other people because it was just eventually, like, I guess, hard to find people. So the most that they let out.
It was Christmas time and stuff like that too, which, you know, harder to get people on board.
Was that a little bit difficult for you to go around holiday season? Was that a little bit of something you had to kind of like come to terms with, maybe with loved ones and such?
Yeah, definitely. It was difficult. It sucked to you know, miss the holidays and everything like that. But, you know, all the loved ones, they kind of understood that this was a great opportunity and I should take it. And I kind of felt the same way that, you know, if I don't do this because of the holidays, I'll probably regret it forever.
For every single other holiday of your life.
Yeah.
What were some of your favorite moments watching the fish and just everybody downstairs?
Yeah, it's hard to say if there's any lesser known things, but I mean, I really liked watching Dunye talk to the cameras.
I know that I'm fucking insane and cannot be fixed.
These white people trying to kill me!
Like, talk to TTS for hours. Kanye was hilarious.
It was such a different dynamic for Fish Tank.
You don't know.
You've been talking about weeks, so
It
you
doesn't
got
matter.
it.
I can be talking about it and throw your fucking head off. You don't know me.
It was like an actual like reality show person. He seems like he's been on Real World or something.
I think one of the funniest, like, when we brought up Mr. Beast to do his whole
Camera, you can.
I remember a long time ago when I was making videos and it went nowhere. It went absolutely nowhere.
presentation or whatever. That was one of the funniest things I've ever witnessed in my life. I was operating the camera and just trying not to laugh as the TTSs were coming in, and I had the camera on Greg, and he like having to respond to these vile messages. Yeah.
Because you knew who he was, right? Like before all that.
I did not know. I mean, I knew he was a part of some meme. I was shown the meme. I didn't know who he was before he was coming to the house. But...
I found out about him through Cold Ones, actually, because because they were doing the whole like, what the fuck is that website? Not Fiverr, but the Cameo thing, and he was doing his evil Mr. Beast thing, and Cold Ones went and put him on there. Who were some of your favorite fish, and also who are some of your least favorite to deal with? Like, who are the biggest headaches to deal with?
In terms of favorite fish, this is probably an unpopular opinion. I really liked JC. I know she didn't last very long, but I thought she was super capable, super bright, and if it was a normal reality show, she probably would have swept the whole thing. And like, I don't know. I remember we were like thinking, you know, kind of theorizing who would leave first. A lot of people were saying her, and at the time I was kind of agreeing, like, yeah, she's, you know, kind of, fans don't really like her that much. But then we gave her a task. I can't remember exactly what it was. We gave her like 3 tasks to pull off that we thought she would never do, and then she did them in like 30 minutes, and I think it was to save her from elimination even, and she just went and did them. It
was fucking with people's chips was one of them, right?
Yeah, and we're like, there's no way anyone's gonna give her chips, and you know, but she pulled it off. Sadly, she, you know, left on her own terms, but I think it was the right choice for her. I think that is not her environment. But if it was a normal reality show, I think she probably would have won. Who else? I mean, I liked Shinji a lot.
What a character.
I think he lost steam at the end, but I mean, I enjoyed his presence. I think Taylor was probably the best competitor out of everyone. I thought she was gonna win the Swamp Olympics. TJ, I like TJ. I think TJ is a good dude.
Yeah.
Very kind of awkward to watch, but that
adds to his whole charm and dynamic.
Yeah. And sometimes he's, you know, he can be frustrating to watch at times, but I think you're always kind of rooting for him at the same time. You're like, come on, you can overcome this, you know, whatever mental block.
He went through quite the fucking change there. I mean, from week 1 to winning #1 TJ. Who would have ever thought he would be the one to have taken the grand prize? Yeah, no, he impressed me a lot. That final boxing match was one of the craziest things ever. He had this crazed look in his eyes. And I just knew, like, this kid he's not going to stop. He took multiple beatings throughout the season. From everybody.
It was like no matter what kind of, like, he would take an L, and then when he got his chip stolen on, I think it was the last day by Taylor, I thought, man, he really fucked up. He might be done. But no, he kept winning challenges. He turned it around. He did not give up. Yeah, I was impressed by him.
Is he not the one that initiated the very first round of boxing when it was with Gold Striker? Was that not the first boxing round?
It may have been the first,
yeah. So...
Yeah.
Fight! Did you and everybody else in production plan or expect boxing to be that much of a staple of Season 2 Fish Tank? So much so to where people were dubbing it Fight Tank?
I didn't expect it to be such a staple. I expected, you know, there'd be a match here and there. Yeah. We had a few matches on Season 1. I thought it'd be just something like that. I knew there would be training similar to Season 1, but I didn't think so many of the contestants would fight each other. And crew members.
Yeah,
for that
Ben too. Yeah, who are you? And you sparred with them as well. What were your favorite fights? Please tell me, Vance, please, because you were up close and personal for pretty much 99% of the fights. Like, what was your favorite ones, and which ones did you also not like? Like, which ones were you like, oh, okay, this is getting bad?
There aren't any that come to mind that I didn't like. Other than maybe the Jimmy versus TJ. I wasn't there for that day, so I just saw clips.
Yeah.
That was hard to watch. But the Greg and Ben fight was really good. Anytime Greg was fighting, it was good.
Because you sparred with him. I was gonna ask. I was kind of saving that for a little bit. How was that? You sparred with Greg and Shinji. Give me the
He hit
deets,
me
man.
He hit me so fucking hard. He hit so hard.
Greg got them haymakers like that?
Yeah, dude, he has hands like hammers.
God damn. Because he says on stream, because I watch his streams pretty often, he says he does not work out. Isn't that crazy?
He should. He's got natural talent. Yeah.
And hands.
Yeah, he could be a really good boxer. I mean, he already kind of is.
He's got the caveman build.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. It's like 8-man. Bro, your stance was good. Your form was great, and I love that you put on the crotch guard.
The diaper.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. Was that your first time ever sparring?
Yeah, first time. Well, I think I sparred with Sam and Josie and did Ontarius on season 1. Mm-hmm. But I think that was the first time that it was. First time since then. Yeah, I hit pads every once in a while, but I don't really spar. So yeah, it was a cool experience. It was a lot of fun. Like when it's immediately after it's over, you're like, fuck, that sucks. Like that was crazy.
What a rush.
Yeah. And then 5 minutes, after a while, you're like, okay, I want to go again.
Yeah. The hype comes back.
Yeah. And I don't know if my technique was great. I was just trying to consciously remember the things I was taught. Like, Your technique was good on, like, you were staying in sparring mode, though, whereas Greg was in fucking, I'm throwing fucking boulders around, fucking shit. That's what I mean, is you were staying very precise. Yeah, though, true. True. I was mostly just trying to defend, because it feels, I don't like hitting Greg. But, once you get hit in the head by his cannon, you realize, okay, I gotta hit this guy. Yeah, like, fuck this shit. Yeah. How was it sparring with Shinji? That was fun. I think that he just had a massive disadvantage, and I was just kind of, I don't know if he got a clean hit on me. I gotta like watch that and see. Yeah, it was fun. Maybe like not like hard clean hits. I mean, maybe like a couple, but nothing crazy. For a smaller dude though, can he not take a hit though? For like a small skinny guy? Sure. He can for sure. Yeah. He's a natural athlete as well. Like, I know he lost that last fight, but he did great. Yeah, he went for a while for round. Yeah, they were going blow for blow. Like, it was pretty evenly matched. And I think he also won like the wrestling tournament as well against Brian, who's like 6'5" or something, like crazy. Yeah. Crazy. And he also went up, didn't he go up against either, he also wrestled Sam and... Oh, Scott. You wrestled Ben too? I don't even remember that. I swear, I feel like he did wrestle Goldstriker. You're probably right. Sullivan or Scott, like, I feel like he did wrestle him as well because he was just so tired, but they knew that, they weren't trying to kill him or anything, of course, but they were definitely giving him a hard time. But did you train with I'm sure you have, because I know you guys actively talk. Were you able to train with Scott as well? Because I saw you were lifting weights and stuff as well, man, so good on you that you were keeping it up. Yeah, I tried to I was trying to lose a little bit of weight, build a little more muscle in there. Yeah. I did pretty good on that. I think I lost more than season 1, which I did not expect. But I didn't get to train boxing this time, actually. Yeah, it just didn't work out. Usually when they were doing it, I was, on duty. Yeah, I did get to lift weights a lot with Max and Bex occasionally. That was a good time. Since we talked about him a little bit with his fights and all that stuff, what are your thoughts on Jimmy? I have to know, man. Like, what do you think about Jimmy? I think Jimmy should not be in an environment like Fish Tank. I think I've talked to him a tiny bit. Admittedly, I haven't talked to many of the fish, and that is that's my fault. I'm bad at reaching out to people and whatnot. But I've talked to Jimmy. I've sent him like maybe a few messages here and there. I think he isn't a bad guy or anything, but Fish Tank is not good for him. But I do think he was extremely funny, extremely entertaining. I don't know what was going through his head, but I do know that the environment he was in contributed to that. some people just can't handle it.
Can you elaborate on that a bit? Do you feel like what do you feel like got him to the breaking point? What do you think when you say that it's not a good environment for him? What do you mean by that? Because I only ask it like that because Fish Tank realistically it's not a good environment for anybody. You know what I mean? Because it's such a scuffed place. But what do you mean by that when you say it's not a good place for Jimmy?
I mean, I mean, it's definitely just the kind of psychological, it's definitely just like all the psychological aspects of the show. And, you know, being trapped inside does a number on your psyche. I know firsthand what it can do. And some people aren't, I'm not saying he's not mentally strong, but some people just aren't,
thick-skinned enough.
Yeah, I mean, their psyche just cannot handle the psychological torture, I guess, and the being trapped inside. And certain people react to that in different ways. And I think the way he reacted to that, the way he was, I guess, tended to react to things, like it just set him up for failure, you know?
Ty actually said something I found pretty pretty interesting. Ty said that Fish Tank will absolutely bring out your traumas, you know, your past traumas and stuff like that. Is that maybe what you're referring to, that you probably shouldn't go into Fish Tank if you're dealing with some past traumas that you haven't necessarily dealt with? Because Fish Tank will find your weakness, they'll find the chink in your armor, and they'll dig.
Exactly. That's probably the best way to put it.
Who are like the freaking fish divas where production, whether it be you, Ben, Sam, or Jet, anyone was just like, oh God, so-and-so needs this again?
I don't want to call him a headache because I personally think he was probably the most entertaining this season, but Dunye would love to ask for stuff, and we you know, it was funny to us, so we would just like ignore him and you know, be like, oh yeah, we're getting on that. Yeah. But no, he definitely not a headache. He knew, like he locked in. He did his job perfectly. He was great.
Absolutely.
But it was funny when he would ask for stuff, and we would just ignore him and be like, yeah, we got your vape, and just we did that to Jimmy too. Like I mean, every time we'd walk up there, he would just talk to you for forever, and he would ask for stuff. He's like, I need this, and we would either ignore him or give him something slightly wrong. Like it would be not what he asked for, but like kind of just to
because Jimmy brought a whole fucking tub too, right, of shit.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so he was probably asking for like a toothbrush, and y'all bring him boxers or something like that.
He wanted talcum powder, and like he just wanted a bunch of crazy stuff.
What are your thoughts on Cole, man? He was so weird. I thought he was an actor or something like that for a long time, because I thought he was like he reminded me of like a Home Movies character. You remember that animation Home Movies?
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
I'm actually watching through it right now. Like watched an episode last night.
bro.
Yeah.
I fucking love that show so much too. I love Brendan Small, and I'm sure you love his music as well.
Yeah, he's the Death Clock guy, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
He helped I think Devin Townsend is his name.
Devin Townsend.
With some projects. And is he the one that does Ziltoid? Who does Ziltoid?
That is Devin Townsend.
Yeah. He helped make some stuff with him as well for Ziltoid stuff.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I really like Devin Townsend. I've seen him a few times. He I don't know. I haven't kept up with him since like 2015 or 16 or something, but his last I can't hold on, I gotta look this up now. Transcendence, I believe, is the album. That's like a great, it's great.
What do you think about Detective Cole, the man who was breaking the walls literally of the fish tank to find these mystery baby dolls? What do you think of that, man? He was a crazy odd character.
Cole, I don't know, I thought he's another kind of like Jimmy. He was very entertaining, but just could not handle it. Like would get broken down by weird stuff that he would take a lot of things very personally when we didn't intend that at all. Like he thought he was like boxing with Scott or like doing some martial arts thing with Scott, and he thought that we were like personally attacking him by putting him in that situation. But I think we were trying to lift his spirits and, you know, get him to be a little more active. I don't know. We thought we were doing him a favor.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought he was a great contestant, just, you know, couldn't handle it.
Did he give you a reason on why he ultimately left in the end? Because all that really was shown was like, he's talking about season 1 a bit, and then all of a sudden he just is like, all right, I'm out of here. But it wasn't like y'all said, oh, you have to go at first. He just seemed like he was just done.
So he, you know, it got to a point where he was talking about quitting every few hours, and then it reached a breaking point. He just said some stuff that was kind of inappropriate to say, and Sam came in, kind of gave him a talking to, kicked the door down.
Stop. Do you need further instruction?
I'll stop.
I'll let myself out if that's okay with you.
I think he felt really insulted by that and was like, okay, I guess I'm done. We didn't kick him off. We were just kind of, we were doing, like, I mean, Ben came up there and like, oh, we got your replacement ready. Better pack up. I mean, that's obviously a joke.
Scare tactic.
And we thought he was quitting. He thought we kicked him off. It's a weird situation.
Did he really send y'all a list of demands
For coming back? Yeah, I think he posted that, didn't he?
That
he posted
was
on his
real?
story, like, these are my demands. Well, I think he was joking. I think it was,
that's what I figured. It was a joke.
yeah, I think it was, I took it as a joke,
yeah.
but,
I figured. Okay. Well, that pretty much says it then. Yeah, because he does bits and shit too, you know. Because I didn't figure. I figured there wouldn't have been any bad blood because everybody was just fucking confused about the whole thing, you know.
I mean, I thought it was fine, but I had no idea that he thought we were kicking him off during that. Yeah. I don't know. It was weird.
I think he just made that whole thing in his own head, and maybe I think he was also just done and just ready to leave on his own volition. Really, I think he just probably tapped out. You know. Were you there when the swatting happened?
Yes. I think it happened a few times, maybe, didn't it?
Wow, really?
There were multiple swattings.
That sucks, man. And you said y'all already talked to authorities too, so that was awesome. That y'all already pretty much covered the bases.
Yeah, I mean, before the show, I mean, it would be stupid to not talk to the police beforehand. Like, we gave them the rundown. They said, like, no problem. If this happens, we'll give you a heads up. And it went very smoothly. Like, the only mistake, like the only thing that happened is that somehow a camera got turned back on or something while it was happening. But that sucks.
The famous clips.
Yeah. But it went very smooth. The police there were awesome. No problems. It was just an annoyance.
That's good that nobody, like, you know, they weren't coming in there guns drawn, tasers and shit like that. No dogs and shit. That's good.
They were very cool. That's
awesome.
Yeah, they were great.
Did you or any of the other production, did y'all expect the POV camera to be as much of a hit as it was? Because, bro, I and everyone loved the POV camera. It was a great idea. Yeah. Please keep that going.
Definitely. I wish we were able to use it more. We had to have, I don't know if people know Rich, but he's one of the employees and he does like a lot of the technical stuff. We had to have him be at the house for it to work because he was the one that knew how to set it up and everything. So yeah, I wish we could have used it more. But yeah, I loved it. I personally, I loved watching it from that perspective way more. Like, it felt like a home video. Yeah. Like watching old home videos, you know? Yeah, and it kind of, it was like people were kind of seeing the handheld, like the FX3 footage in real time almost. Like, they were kind of getting a preview of what they'll see in the documentary. Like, just being on that level with the contestants. I think it's a necessary aspect. I think it was a really cool addition. I guarantee we'll bring it back. Maybe even have multiple POV cameras. I don't know.
Yes, please, multiple POVs. One thing, look, I'm gonna throw this out there again because I tweeted this one time. Give certain ones, a certain number of the fish, their POV camera to be like their own personal confessional for certain nights or certain moments. Oh yeah. Or each of them within an hour, like, okay, here's your confessional hour, like their hour of POV time or something, like where it's like, because the confessional camera is a great idea, but like imagine them being able to like go wherever they want and talk shit about everybody, you know?
Yeah, that was one thing, is that people can listen to you in confessional, which is, you know, kind of dangerous. You know, you're not sure what you can reveal. So yeah, that's a good idea to be able to move around, make sure no one's listening to you, so you can give your true thoughts. I think that's important. That's a good idea.
The POV camera, when y'all busted that out, so they had like this mentality where they were just kind of sitting around sometimes, getting a little stagnant. But when y'all busted out that POV, it was like they turned it into their own TikTok or their own cell phone or something.
Right.
They came alive, you know, their energy just boosted up.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, it really helped with, you know, keeping the audience engaged and everything like that. Because every time the POV camera was on, you know, because you can see how many people are watching what camera. Everyone was watching the POV camera.
Yeah.
Like, it was everyone's preferred camera to be on. And yeah, the fish, they definitely came alive when it was brought up. And I think, yes, it's important for the morale.
Who did you think, from the start to the finish, who did you think would be at the top 3?
So before the season started, we watched all the interviews, and I said it's either going to be the Japanese guy or the guy who rocks, which is TJ. So I had a pretty good assessment on them. I thought the Japanese, like, I just thought that Shinji would just have that mentality of, like, you know, not gonna quit. I figured he'd be athletic. I figured he would just have like the right mindset for it. And TJ, I thought, was just similar to Josie. Like, you're kind of just like fascinated just watching her like move around, like, you know, the stimming and whatever. You kind of just can't, like, it's fascinating somehow.
Unpredictable.
Just watching somebody move around is stimulating to the viewer, you know?
Yeah.
And I figured, like, he was moving a lot, but also beyond that, I thought he was just like very nice sounding. Like, I thought he was just from the interview, seemed like a sweet guy and everything. And I thought that in combination with his movements would keep the audience engaged and watching him and liking him. So yeah, I thought it would be one of those two. And that's a good question as well, because one thing, I said this on season 1, I think I said it in the house, I might be wrong, but when we did the cell challenge, when that was over, I kind of realized that it was very telling in who would make it far. I thought the way that people got eliminated in the cell challenge would be telling in how they got eliminated in the show in general. And I figured that is the perfect way to predict, you know, who the top 3, top 2 will be. And, you know, me, Josie, and Letty were the last 3 in the cell. We were the final 3. Sylvia was 4th out, right? And she came in 4th.
Yes. Yep.
John, yeah, I think it was pretty much the exact order. Maybe John and Damiel got flipped, but I thought it was very telling. And when we did the cell this time, I was already thinking, like, this is probably going to show you who the final 3 will be. And I believe it was Taylor, Shinji, well, TJ, I don't think he made it that far, but Taylor and Shinji were in their final 2, correct?
Yeah, they were super competitive.
Yeah, so I thought after that, I already kind of figured Shinji would make it far. After that, though, I was like, Taylor might be a sleeper here. I think she's extremely competitive and could win. And yeah, she almost did.
She had a super competitive drive, and she said she played sports too. Like, she was on girls baseball or some shit like that.
She did probably, yeah, I think she did softball.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely did, because she was pitching in the house a lot.
Yeah, because you can fucking tell because of her drive. I was like, you can just hear her when she yelled in the fish tank. I was like, I can just hear her yelling on a field or a court. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah,
baseball players, they usually have what it takes. You know what I mean? Yeah. I played forever. Taylor, I know she played. I think there's people have like there's a baseball mentality that can take people far. It's kind of crazy.
You guys can play hard, but you guys stay calm because you stand around a lot in baseball. So there's a lot of reflecting time. Yeah.
So for season 3, if we do the cell again, just keep that in mind for next time. Kind of be on the just take note of. Well, maybe that's just my theory, that the cell is basically just a micro version of the whole show itself, you know. What I meant was like
if you can take it in the
see who the last
cell.
few exactly, if you can handle the cell, you can probably make it the whole way. It's a very telling challenge. But yeah,
who did everybody else think would be the top 3? Like, do you know who Ben and like Sam and Jet and them thought were gonna be like, all right, these are gonna be the ones to go, these are gonna be the ones to stay?
It's hard to say. I feel like we all kind of had the same idea of who would last, who wouldn't. I think everybody expected Cole to make it a lot farther.
What are some of the times where you almost fucking broke, where it was the hardest to keep professional and hold the camera still?
It is so hard not to laugh sometimes. The Mr. Beast thing, anytime there were Oliver Gay TTSs coming through. Basically, okay, so here's how you can tell if I'm trying not to laugh. I do this.
I thought that was for the smell, for the
Sometimes, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'd say most of the time it's because I'm trying not to laugh.
Fuck, man. You're still keeping a pretty good relationship with all the season 1 fish?
Yeah, for the most part. I don't, like I've said this before, I'm bad at reaching out to people, but yeah, I talk to Sylvia pretty often. I think we're gonna try to get a tour set up.
You haven't done a tour yet? That's still in the works?
We haven't yet.
Okay.
I think now she has, well, I mean, she may have had the means before, but now she definitely does. She's touring right now with Ariel Pink and Lords of Acid, I think.
Hell
but which is a huge deal. Like that's for her, it's like that's amazing. Like she's doing great.
She's stuck to it for sure. She's only like been progressing too. She's been keeping at it. Both of you really were musical pursuits because y'all are just sticking to it. Y'all haven't let up one bit since y'all left season 1. If anything, y'all just kept at it and went 200%.
Yeah, I admire Sylvia's work ethic. I know with her, I think her mindset is just like failure is not an option. And yeah, she's moving on up. Yeah, we were talking about season 1 fish. Yeah, I mean, I talk to John pretty often, talk to Sylvia pretty often. Who else is there? Damiel here and there. I saw Damiel before the show.
Hell yeah. What do you think is the biggest difference between the 2 sets?
The biggest difference?
Yeah, what makes each one of them shine in their own way?
I think with the season 1 cast, there's always going to be some kind of bias for us because like just we were the originators. And it's kind of hard to, you know, even if people don't necessarily like season 1, even if you prefer season 2, I don't think anyone can deny that there was a certain magic with season 1 and the cast and everything. Even if we weren't the most entertaining, even like at all times, or even if we weren't technically a great cast or whatever, like I think there's an undeniable magic with that cast though. With the season 2 cast, I think they were bigger characters. They had bigger personalities. I don't know. And obviously they knew about the show, so they kind of were able to implement perhaps better strategies than anyone on season 1. And they could kind of model their strategies off of what we did. Yeah, all the season 1 challenges, not all of them, but most of them were like acting based. Act like this, act like that. And I think it was because the crew probably just recognized that we, you know, had somewhat of a knack for improv and acting and everything like that. So I think that's one kind of unique skill set of the entire season 1 cast, is that we all could somewhat act. With season 2, I felt like those kind of challenges weren't as entertaining because maybe they just weren't quite as good at that specific thing. But I mean, not to say none of them were. I know we had some challenges here and there. Like I think definitely like they were a more like colorful cast of characters in general, just like kind of a little more out there, a little more wacky. Yeah, I think they all got along.
Like in a sense of like not competitive against one another till the end or something. I think the real question is who would win in the fight between the 2 groups.
I have thought about it a little bit though.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think, it's hard to say. I don't think any of the season 2 contestants would beat Letty. I don't think any of them would. I think she would beat them all.
Damn.
Honestly. Yeah.
Do you still have flashbacks?
Not flashbacks. I mean, I reminisce every once in a while. I try not to though, because if I watch clips or anything of season 1, I start to miss it a little too much.
Aww.
And it's like I can't even like
That's
can't even
beautiful,
think about
man.
this.
Like, yeah, y'all were definitely tight though, for sure. I mean, this cast is like, you know, they're close and everything, but y'all became like family.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
some of the best I've ever made, for sure. You definitely form a bond with those people no matter what. Like, no matter how fucked up it is. Like, I think it's because like nobody else can quite understand. Yeah, there's just kind of this unspoken, unbreakable bond that I think we'll always have, you know.
Sound like you just came back from fucking war.
Yeah, no, it is
Hell
war.
yeah.
It is.
From being prepared for so many people leaving so early, because I know Sam and Jet actually said on live stream that Jet was like, we lost pretty much all of our fucking half our contestants the first 2 weeks. So
yeah, a little
is that
bit.
something that maybe y'all are gonna prepare for a little bit more.
For sure. I think we might have more. Yeah, I think there's probably going to be more contestants, just to kind of prepare for something like that happening again. But also, I think what happened was we went too hard too fast because they were fans, and we thought we maybe had to make it a little crazier, a little wackier, you know, because there was like hype, a lot of hype for the season, so we kind of just went full force. I think next time it'll probably be a lot slower. And also because I believe we're not going to have any fans, at least we're going to do our best. So I think having people that know nothing about the show, we have to make it a slow burn so that they stick around. Because if we start pulling what we did again on people that don't know about the show, aren't fans, they're just going to all leave. So yeah, I think it's going to be much more of a slow burn. And I kind of like that. I think that makes the good moments stand out much more.
Absolutely.
And I like subtle things as well. I think you know, that might make it a little more not so much in your face.
But is there any like whether it be challenges or whether it just be like, okay, I would like to see maybe this type of thing in the house, maybe like, or the theme, because y'all had a 70s theme, you know, or something like that, you know, what kind of theme you would like to see, whether it be the next one or just something to dabble in the future? I
mean, I liked the 70s theme. I think we could probably just keep going along, like, okay, let's do 80s, let's do 90s, you know. That would be, I don't know if I'd necessarily like want to see that happen. I don't know how bad I want to see that happen, but I think that'd be interesting. Like it'd be like, what's the theme gonna be? Well, okay, let's do 80s, you know.
What are your thoughts on 80s? like a post-apocalyptic one?
Oh yeah,
like kind of like Fallout style, you know, because that way the snacks and all that kind of shit, it's kind of like more vital then, and you could theme everything to be kind of like your version of, you know, they had Nuka-Cola and all that shit. It'd be like your versions of that shit. Or maybe like a sci-fi theme or something like space sci-fi.
Sci-fi would be good. Yeah, that would be good.
I mean, is there like, you know, a lot of life lessons or maybe just experience lessons that you learned with this, or maybe some good advice that you learned from the crew or Sam Hyde himself?
One thing, I mean, I think it's kind of important to struggle along with the contestants. If we're super comfortable as the crew, I think it would just make for we'd probably get lazy. You know, being comfortable in a creative environment is not ideal. And this is something that I think Jet told me this before the season, that for season 1 they like slept on the floor. You know, they were living in worse conditions than we were half the time. And he said it's because you make the best stuff when you're struggling. And I think that's absolutely true. And I learned that this time because the basement was not the conditions down there were not ideal, but I think it was necessary. I think it was very necessary to kind of live in squalor a little bit, and just have that mindset of this has to like, this sucks. We have to make this good, you know.
Kept you on your toes.
Not giving yourself any other option other than we have to make this work. Yeah, definitely struggle is necessary.
Rough conditions does help you make your best creations. It's like when they say like, oh, you're molding the clay type shit. And that's how y'all work with on Fish Tank a lot. Sometimes just spur the moment, in the moment is like your best ideas when it's just on the spot.
If you think too hard about something, you just kind of have to have like you just got to go off instinct half the time. If you think too much, you're gonna overthink and maybe make the wrong choice, you know.
Or maybe just sit for hours doing nothing, just stewing on thought. You know, that's even worse sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit.
Exactly.
You mentioned that you went to film school. What made you want to do that? What inspired you to pursue film school in particular?
So initially, I went to school initially for business, and I think I did end up with a minor in business, but I majored in film, and the reason was I just loved. I used to make sketches with my brothers, as a kid, and it was just like some of the most fun I've ever had. Yeah, TripleBuck, some of the most fun ever. And I thought I was also maybe gonna go for music, but then I was like, I'm already kind of good at music, not to toot my own horn, but I was like, I'm already kind of good at this. I don't know if I need schooling for this, but filming stuff was kind of my other passion, and I thought it would be cool to get really good at that. So went ahead and did it. Looking back, it was probably the wrong choice. I shouldn't have gone for art, but I mean, now I'm working in film, so I guess it worked out.
You said you wouldn't recommend it, or you wouldn't suggest it for people, as maybe an upcoming content creator or someone who wants to get into like the entertainment industry. Why is it that you say you wouldn't recommend it? Because that's not the first time I've heard that being said about film school. Even Joel Haver has said that about film school.
So for me, everything I've achieved in film had nothing to do with my degree. I learned some stuff, I learned good techniques and stuff like that, but I could have learned it from YouTube videos as well. I didn't need to spend years in class to learn these things. Honestly, like the best thing you can do if you want to be like an editor, for example, just watch videos on how to edit and just practice editing, film a bunch of stuff, piece it together. Like it's all practice and building a portfolio. I think that's probably the only upside to film school, is that they give you an opportunity to build a portfolio. But again, you can do that. You don't need to go to school for that as well. You can, get some friends together, start shooting. But yeah, it worked out for me. Like I ended up with a film job, but I definitely didn't need my degree to get it. And I think that just kind of, I feel like in most cases I feel like that's the case for most people. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but this feels like something that you just could have picked up with the information around you.
Yeah, because getting a film job, like they don't look at your degree or anything. They look at your portfolio. So that's all it is a portfolio. Just find a way to build your portfolio if you want to get into film or creative stuff, and just watch YouTube videos and hone your craft. I wouldn't say I regret it entirely, because I did meet very good friends. Met a lot of cool people, and I did get, set experience and stuff like that. It wasn't a total, I don't regret it entirely, but I could have spent my time a little bit smarter.
It led to some good collaborations and maybe a couple connections.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So it's hard to say that I regret it, because
it was still a good experience, but
I had fun.
Maybe not necessarily something, not necessarily a requirement, you would say, but definitely a helpful experience if you want to learn more about that field.
Yeah, and if you have a bunch of money to waste.
When it comes to your video content and your streaming, do you have any plans to do more skits and more video stuff? Not just streams, but actual video content in the future?
Yeah, I would love to. It's hard because setting all that up is a little more difficult than just sitting at the computer, turning the camera on and streaming. For me, streaming is kind of a quick, easy way to put out content consistently. I don't have to edit anything. I don't have to coordinate other people's schedules and get everyone together and plan it out a ton. But I am always coming up with sketch ideas. It's just a matter of actually filming them. I would love to, it is a goal of mine to start doing that again this year. Hopefully some new TripleBuck videos.
Wow, okay.
Hopefully, we're all constantly coming up with ideas. It's just a matter of setting it up. And it's been so long, I feel like we're kind of not quite sure where to start. But I mean, we'll know what to do once we start.
Yeah.
We'll start swimming. But
yeah, I mean, that's like the best thing is when people kind of have like their big comeback. You know, at that point, y'all can do whatever the fuck you want because that's your big comeback. You know.
Yeah, and we already did kind of have a comeback, and now it's been like 4 years since the last video. Yeah. But
second
it happens.
comeback.
Yeah, second comeback.
Coming again. Man.
yeah. But yeah, and I want to do like kind of smaller scale skits like I do on my personal channel. I have a ton of ideas for those. I just gotta actually film them. Animations as well. I used to do a bunch of animations, like very crude, shitty ones. I made a few somewhat recently, but I want to get back into that. I kind of want to do like a series. Like I kind of want to, like, just because I'm watching home movies again, and it's kind of inspiring me.
When it comes to your streaming, what got you into the prank calls? How did you get into the prank call streams and your schizo radio? What made that your niche?
So schizo radio initially was me. It used to be called the secret stream, and I would sit in the dark and just do like some improvised, I don't even know what to call it, like performance art or something. I don't know if I'd call it art, but it was a performance. And then it evolved into, and then I liked the name Schizo Radio, so I stuck with that. And then it evolved into prank calls because, well, one, I didn't quite know what to do with streaming at the point that I was at. And also Longmont Potion Castle, I don't know if you know who that is, but he's a prank call. He does a bunch of prank calls. I was going to say he's a prank call genius, which he is, but I listen to him all the time. He's like probably my favorite comedian ever. I think I don't go like a week without listening to something he's done.
Oh wow. What's the name of this
yeah, Longmont Potion Castle.
Longmont.
Yeah,
Potion Castle.
which I believe is a town in Colorado or something. But yeah, he's this guy that nobody knows who he is. No one's seen his face, but he makes like a prank call album every year, and it's consistently the funniest thing ever. And I'm just always inspired by him, and I wanted to give, my own, see if I could pull it off myself in a live setting. I thought it was like the perfect way to do it, because I kind of read off the chat, and they will like give me suggestions on things to say in real time.
Places to call and shit.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling Planet Fitness on California Avenue. How can I help you?
I kind of wanted to let you guys know there's somebody jelking in the locker room. My phone was dead. I couldn't call you till I got home. This was about 20 minutes ago.
I mean, there's not much I can do now. He's probably already done.
So yeah, that's why I started doing it. Basically, Longmont Potion Castle, and just I used to film. Me, in middle school, high school, and whatever. Me and my friends would prank call people, and we would film it. And I was kind of going back through my old videos, and I was like, oh, I should like kind of edit these clips. And I was like, why don't I just stream it? Start fresh. So yeah, that's how it started.
Longmont Potion, though, it seems like these are coming.
He's been around since the 80s, 90s.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because one of these
is
11 years ago, and I'm like, God damn, he's an OG.
Yeah, he's been doing it forever. And he calls like he gets phone number. He'll get like Alex Trebek's phone number, and
what?
Yeah, listen to the Alex Trebek prank calls. Those are some of his best.
Oh shit, this is probably gonna be my new nighttime hobby.
Oh yeah, trust me, I will stay up for hours and just get lost in a Longmont Potion Castle rabbit hole.
What was the first prank call you ever did? Whether it be like just in general, or like the first memorable one, or maybe the first stream recorded one.
Yeah, the first one I ever remember doing was with an old friend. We would call McDonald's and say that we ordered a Oreo McFlurry in the drive-thru, but as it was being passed, like handed to me, a bird shit in it. So now there's bird shit in the McFlurry, and I can't tell what's an Oreo piece, what is bird shit. And then people would obviously some people wouldn't believe it, but the ones that did would there was this one girl that was trying to make it seem like it wasn't her fault. Like she was like, oh no, we fucked up. But she was like, oh wait, no, I think it was this one guy working here. That couldn't have been me. Like she didn't like she was just trying to like not get in trouble for this.
Just throwing everybody under the bus.
Yeah. But that's the first one I ever remember doing. I must have been, I don't know, 14.
Oh, man. The good
yeah,
old days,
and we would just use that setup a lot. Yeah, that's probably that's the first one I remember.
When it comes to your music, do you have any plans on any more albums? And you already said you're planning a tour with Sylvia, but do you have maybe another album that you're working on now, or maybe that you're already writing for, something up the sleeve that you can divulge in?
Yeah, so put out my first album in November, and while I was recording that album, I was writing 3 other albums.
Drop the name.
At the same time. It was called Love in Its Purest Form.
Yeah.
And it's like some dark wave, some synth pop, some alternative rock. It's all over the place, but it's pretty dark sounding. And I finally got that out. I've been working on that for years. Probably the biggest influence for that was like Depeche Mode. Yeah, I love Depeche Mode.
Hell yeah.
Probably that might be my favorite band ever. It's definitely goth inspired musically. It's kind of funny though, because it's dark music, but on stage I wear just like something like this, and I don't typically fit in with all the other like goth bands that I play with. Like
you got visually. Rid of the pigeon head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, where is it?
The seagull, the
seagull head.
It's here somewhere. I haven't worn that on stage, but I probably should. Yeah, the next album is a 25 to 30 minute long song. It's supposed to be one long song, but it's going to be split up into different sections so that's easier to digest, like if you're on Spotify or whatever. But yeah, the idea is one long song that I can play in its entirety in one set, basically, like for one show. Because typically, at the stage I'm at, I don't play longer than like 30 or 40 minutes. So it'd be cool to play this entire album in a set. And it is called Dream Horse, which I just think is a funny, kind of catchy name. And the concept, I don't know if I can get too deep into the concept because I'm still working it out.
Yeah,
but
still brainstorming.
But the music is like 90% done, at least the structures of the songs. I got to add layers and stuff, but I'm hoping to put it out this year. We'll see if it happens, but that's the goal this year. Yeah, I put it on I think it's on every streaming platform, and then Bandcamp too, I think. I don't know. I just use DistroKid and I select all of them.
Other than your album, do you have any future projects in general?
I am working on a sketch comedy show with, I don't know if you've seen, so I put out a music video for my song Joyride like a couple months back, and the guys that I filmed that with, they are making a show, and I'm going to be involved with it, at least somewhat.
Yeah.
Most definitely acting, possibly writing as well. I gotta get back into the writing groove.
What is their channel?
Been busy, but they don't have a channel yet. I think the idea is like they're making the show, they're making the pilot, and I think they're gonna try to get it.
Okay, fuck.
Yeah, like a real show.
Hell
and it's gonna be. I think they're gonna pitch it to streaming platforms and whatever.
Fuck yeah, man.
But yeah, that's a pretty big project that I'll be involved with, at least somewhat. And then I think that might be it. I mean, there's other stuff that I'm just forgetting, but those are the main ones I can think of right now.
What is some advice, as someone who is literally like, bro, you have literally pursued every one of your dreams and you're doing more. So what's some advice that you would give to other both content creators, musicians, and streamers trying to begin or start their journey?
Man, where to begin? I don't know. So what I did was, I mean, I had been making music for this. I'll just apply this to music stuff. Mm-hmm. I had been making music since I was like 14. I guess because of anxiety and shit, that I never like performed live. But that's something you have to do. Like, and you just have to start. Just get it over with. The more you think about it, the more you're not going to achieve. So you have to start. If you're doing music, you got to start performing live as soon as possible. Do not put that off. I put it off way too long. So yeah, you have to get started. And I guess if I'm applying it to music as well. To make your shows successful, you have to kill it. You cannot give yourself an option to not kill it. Even if shit's gonna go wrong, you have to just push past it, or you can lean into it. You know, you can make a joke about it, whatever you got to do. But push past it. The show must go on, and fucking perform. Like if you're on stage, don't stand around. Like you have to be active, and you have to give it your all. If you need an idea of what to perform like, look up the band Dillinger Escape Plan. Watch their shows. Do that as best as you can. It's very dangerous what they do actually, but you know, don't get hurt. But you have to give it your all. You have to put everything into it. That's how you're going to succeed. And kind of you can use that same mindset for, you know, anything. Like you just don't give yourself an option to not succeed. And always keep a positive mindset. Like I said earlier, if you're a negative person, then your life will be negative. Like a negative outlook just brings more negativity, in my opinion. Yeah, just always stay positive and always tell yourself like this will work out. And you know, whatever happens is going to happen for a reason. Yeah. Hopefully I answered that.
Yeah, you absolutely did. I love that advice. And that doesn't just apply to music, that applies to everything, because you're saying put yourself out there. And I cannot agree with that more. Whether you're a content creator, a streamer, the number one thing is putting yourself out there and starting and getting the ball rolling, or else you never will, or you're going to sit, and like we said earlier, you're going to sit forever and wonder, what if? And that's going to just lead to a lot of bad decisions, depression, downward spirals, who fucking knows, you know? Yeah,
and if you have an opportunity, take it. Don't say no because you're nervous or whatever. You have to just do it. Throw yourself into uncomfortable situations, definitely.
Absolutely. I 1000% agree. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to shout out to the internet, or anybody you'd like to shout out?
Man. I mean, shout out to you for putting this together.
Thanks,
always a good time. Yeah. I mean, shout out, I could just go down the list, I guess. Shout out family, brothers, sisters, parents, fucking friends, you know, the homies, the whole MDE crew for giving me the platform I have now. Anyone that watches the streams, anyone that comes out to a show, anyone that listens to a single song or anything. Yeah, shout out to all of you.
Hell yeah, man.
Streaming Sundays at 8 p.m. PST, and then I try to throw in a midweek stream as well, but those are kind of inconsistent. But, you know, yeah, tune into a stream, say hey. That's basically it.
Yeah, y'all check out not the secret stream anymore, the Schizo Radio. The Schizo Radio with Vance, and enjoy some amazing prank calls among other content. You're definitely gonna have a good time. Vance Latta on YouTube, check him out. We'll have all the links on the screen magically appear right here, so if there's anything I don't say, it's gonna magically appear right here through the magic of Fishtank and Vance making that happen through all the ZIPP he's been force feeding me throughout the time. Thank you again. Thank you, Vance.
Thank you.
I do appreciate it, but that I just have a feeling you probably have I'm pretty sure you have a box right somewhere in there that you're gonna. I don't need any more ZIPP. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. You don't have to keep sending those every single fucking week, dude. Thank you so much, but I have so much ZIPP.
Once every 2 weeks.
Thank you, Vance. Once every 2 weeks. Yes, sir. And also TripleBuck Empire on YouTube, because this man might be making a comeback. And Vance, thank you so much for your time, man. I really do appreciate having you here. I wish you well and wish you happiness, and it's always a really great pleasure to talk to you, man.
Likewise. Thank you. Hell yeah. No, I appreciate you reaching out again. Yeah. Another good interview.
Man,
what a fun time.
Thanks so much. You have a great night, brother.
You too, dude.
All right.
Peace.
Vance is an extremely talented synth-pop artist, and this 10-track masterpiece is definitely a testament to that. No lie, it's a fucking banger. A 10-track synth-pop masterpiece with a blend of dark wave, alternative rock, post-punk, metal, and dance pop all meshed into one melodic album. You're definitely gonna enjoy it. My personal favorite tracks are Joyride, Mysterious Places, This Must Be Heaven,
Well, this must be
and Tears.
heaven.
every single song is a banger, but those ones are just my personal favorites. I really think you should check all of them out right now. You can support Vance by purchasing the album on Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp. The link will be in the description below. Check it out. And you can support this podcast by hitting that like and subscribe. Don't forget that. After talking with Vance again, I really have to say that I totally understand why they wanted him on production. He's very precise and he's very to the point. And I think that's a very good quality to have in anybody. I had no doubts at all that he was going to go far the last time we talked, and he's really only proved further and further that if you put yourself out there, you will get somewhere. So take that to heart. It's really cool to see people rise and level up in such a way that, like, you know, it's crazy. We're seeing the metamorphosis, we're seeing the evolution of all of these people going from, you know, they're complete mysteries to they're constantly putting in work, making content, doing streams, and making these wonderful things happen, like Fish Tank Season 2.5, which Vance will be in. So stay tuned for that as well. I definitely can't wait. I've known about, look, let me go ahead and spill the beans right now. I've known about Season 2.5 for a long time now, but I have kept it a secret because I am an honorable person, I am an honorable man, and I keep my word. But yeah, it was a pleasure to talk with him, and I hope to talk with him again in the future. You know, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. You know, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Hopefully we see you again here. It was a really good time, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. Have fun, everyone.